Happy birthday!
Hi everyone, welcome to Shell Sugar Rush. Welcome back if you've been here before. Today I'm going to be sharing with you this cake and treats I made for my niece's 16th birthday, and she is a very big Nightmare Before Christmas fan. So if you enjoy things like this, stick around and watch me put it together. So after I received a picture of the cake that they were wanting for her birthday party, I started cutting out the fondant pieces for the decor, like the crescent moon and then the circle here where you see I have put some additional decor on for the 16, and then some hearts that are going up around the top, and these just kind of have a ghostly look on the face. And I'll put some it's just some black ruffle around the top as well, and these little pieces will tie that together. Now here you see I am rolling out some purple fondant, and if you've seen my videos before, I do make my own homemade fondant. I prefer that. I know how it's going to do. I know how to work with it well. Sometimes if you try other brands can be different, so you just don't always know what you're going to get. But this is homemade fondant that I have colored purple, and I am covering that first tier with it. This first tier is an 8-inch vanilla tier, and I don't know about you guys, but the hardest part about working with fondant for me is just getting those bottom edges really smooth and getting all those creases out. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one who has that problem. Let me know in the comments if you have a problem with that as well. But here I'm just taking my fondant smoother and just smoothing that out as much as possible. And here I have two, and I just kind of like to bring those together just to get those clean, sharp edges around the sides. So now I'm just going to take one of my 6-inch cake boards and kind of just mark the center of the top of that cake, just because I want to make sure that I put my dowels in the correct position. So I've got, you see it kind of made a line on the top, so I know exactly where to go with those dowels. So here I'm just cutting my dowels to the size that I need, and once I've got them cut, then I'm going to go ahead and just place them in the top of the cake. And I'm going to place one in the center and then 5 additional ones around, kind of in a star pattern. This will give plenty of support to the cake that I'm going to put on top. So here I just added a little buttercream to the top there just to cover those holes and also help that top tier stick once I sit it on. Now you see here I'm kind of going around the cake just with one of my spatulas, and I am making lines in the cake to make a quilted pattern on that cake, which is what will be on that bottom tier. And here I'm attaching the the nameplate that I made with her name, and I've got that on a piece of fondant, so I'm just attaching it with a little water, and then I'm using my tweezers here to place the little edible pearls on that quilted pattern around the cake. Now, since this cake will also have ruffles around that bottom tier, I'm only doing a certain portion of the front of the cake with that quilted look with the pearls in it. Now, as soon as I'm finished with these pearls, I am going to set the cake aside and then start rolling my purple fondant back out again to get ready to start on my ruffles. So for the ruffles, I'm just going to cut some strips that are about 1 inch wide. I'm not really worrying so much about the length of them, because you can, just continue to attach strips of ruffle until you go as far around the cake as you want to. So here you see I'm just kind of spreading that strip out a little more, and I'm gathering it up and just starting on those ruffles. This was probably, I'd say, the most tedious part of the cake. Aside from piping the spider webs on the top tier, which you'll see a little bit later. But here I just continued to make my ruffles and go around the cake, moving all the way up from the bottom to the top, and getting those in position where I wanted them. Now I did continue to take the ruffles all the way up to the top of the cake to bring them up to the point where I will be sitting that 6-inch tier on top there. So now I'm going to bring back in our 6-inch tier, which is a chocolate tier. And I am going to move this one out of the way and bring that 6-inch up here and roll out some more of my purple fondant so that we can get this 6-inch tier covered. Now once I get this tier covered, then of course I am going to be placing it on top of the bottom tier. And unfortunately I did not finish recording the decorations as I did the top tier, but you will see that final look in of course in the end of the video if you stay till the end for that. But once I've gotten this covered, I am going to be piping spider webs on the sides of the top tier with royal icing. I did put a ribbon around the bottom of the top tier with a little bow, a black ribbon that I just tied into a bow. And then of course I put fondant around the top of this tier, just some scalloped draping fondant to give it that ribbon look going around that top tier. So, and of course I put a couple of, just a few little miniature purple roses made of fondant on the top of the cake, and then the decor on the top that you saw me making at the beginning of the video. But definitely stick around to the end so that you can see the finished cake and let me know what you think about it in the comments. And I also covered the cake board with some black fondant as well. Okay everyone, so here is our finished birthday cake and treats for the birthday girl. Let me know what you think about these in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And don't forget, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notifications bell so you'll be notified when I upload more cakes and treats in the future. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you next time.